Houston, we have a balls up. Dun, 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 dun. Broken tap. Right there. Now, if anything, we have two balls up. See the spacing looks a bit off, looks a bit odd. Now, this is one of those classic things where you've outsmarted yourself. So, let's just forget the tap for the moment. When I was working out where to put these holes, I measured across the face here and went halfway thinking, yep, that'll be great. Put the centre one in there, that's good. And then I think I was going to work at 650 thousandths back this way. Looks pretty good on the edge. I went 650 this way and it was going to be too close to this corner because the way this angle works, the meat is lost in behind it where the meat is gained in behind this side. So I thought, well, I've just got to push this one over here, but I'd already started this hole. So in reality, I probably should have pushed this one across a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. It's only got to hold on to a bit of high-speed steel. But now the problem at hand. I could either more or less scrap this part or try and repair it. Now that's a small tap, it's in there hard and it's all the way through, and I'll show you can see for the point is just sticking through the other side. Never broken a tap before. Also never really played with 4140 before, so I'm a 4140 virgin and a tap breaking virgin. My goodness. The irony of the whole thing is, this was the last hole. These two here, I noticed they were really tight and I was a bit worried about breaking the tap. And I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll just open up the hole a little bit. 6mm by 1 tap, tapping diameter is 5mm, which I'd already done. So I went into my drill set and I got a number drill out that gave me 5 1/4 of a mil. Drilled those out, finished those off, thinking, yes, I've discovered the answer. Into this guy here, 3/4 of the way through, bang. So what I'm going to try and do is, I've got a carbide burrs, but they are only for aluminium. So I've done a lot of aluminium in my trade. So I don't have one for steel. And the aluminium ones have much bigger teeth and are likely to just damage the cutter. So we're going to have to go a bit more agricultural. And I don't hardly ever use this. Excuse me. But I think I'm going to get Mr. Dremel involved. And what I'm going to try and do is cut the corner out. Possibly down on a bit of an angle, so I can open it up in this area here to pull the tap out. Then I can just weld it up, and then I've got to put it back in the machine all the different angles again. It's going to be quite a task. I did think about hacking into it with a grinder, but even with a very small worn out wheel like this one, by the time you get down in there far enough, it's going to want to start cutting into this other side, and I don't want to do that. So I might even start using it just a little bit, but once I get close, I'm going to use the smaller diameter wheels which the Dremel has. And if need be, I can even go down into this little piddly guy. But you know, see how we go. This might all be for naught, and I might be just starting again. But with all the setup and mucking around and indicating this, that was all perfect multiple times because I had to increase this groove, this slot. I'm not giving up on her yet. She's going to look like a bit of a ugly red-headed stepchild, but put a bit of bluing on it, we'll cover her over. Let's start. Might not need the Dremel. Just very conscious to try not to score this other side, so the repair can be as small as possible. Come on, Mama. Well, look at what we've got here. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Right. It's a naughty, naughty little tap. Now, yes, it was a chrome steel tap. The set itself was made in Taiwan, not a cheap set, obviously not a very high dollar set either. We learn these things. See if I can pick that out, or I might have to grind it a bit more. Then we'll get into the welder. Oh, just fell out. Look at that. Just fell out. Well, that was easier than I thought. Heaps of work to come though. TIG weld that back up. Will I TIG weld it or should I MIG it? You know what? I think I might MIG this up. Reason being is you've got to get right down into that hole there. Or I could do it with a TIG. MIG's going to be a hell of a lot faster. Just zap it. Yeah, I'm going to do it with the MIG. Sold. Rightio, let me get set up and then we'll be back. Got everything set up, ready to weld up this hole that I've now put in my fly cutter. Just a bit of a comment on cut-off and grinding wheels. This is the wheel, turn upside down, who cares about the brand, but this is the wheel that I used, I don't think you can see the brand, can you? Barely. This is the wheel that I used to cut the slot to get out the broken tap. Now, this in all intensive purposes for everything else was virtually used up, too small a diameter. Now, if I'd used a reasonably full one, there's no way with the diameter of that I would have been able to get in and cut it without damaging the other side. So don't go chucking out, just, at least keep one or two what's considered used, because you never know, you might have that sneaky little job that you need to be able to use them on. Now, I've never welded 4140 before. Apparently we've got to make sure that you don't have the weld effector zone cool out too quickly, but I think that will be for structural members. For this, it probably doesn't matter a hell. I mean, even if this piece flew out, apart from a bit of shrapnel, it's not really going to fail. But let's give it a bit of preheat anyway, so it doesn't cool out too much. put our earth back on there. I'm just going to start this back corner here, just building it up in the slot. Be careful, you just don't get this corner too hot and blow it away, so don't rush at it. Cool off a little bit, might get a wide brush in the seat. Right, there's a bit more on this back corner, a bit more on top, a bit on the bottom. Better to put a little bit too much on there than to have to come back and do it again. All above there, just this corner here. I'll build up with some new zaps. Okay, so let's bring you in closer to see what's done. Looks like bird poop, but it's definitely in there. Looks worse on camera than real life. It's terrible, but that'll clean up. Run it through the milling machine again. Yeah.